There is something sacred waiting for you in every breath, something powerful that exists beneath the noise, beneath the chaos, beneath the endless striving. It is the ever-present hum of the universe, the whisper of the infinite, the intelligence that created stars and oceans, and still beats your heart without your permission. You are not separate from this universe. You are not a distant observer. You are not here to beg it for favors or prove your worth to it. You are woven into it, made from the same essence, and intentional prayer is the bridge that connects you back to that truth. Most people have forgotten how to connect. They've turned prayer into a routine, a habit, a lifeline used only in times of desperation. They speak words but don't feel them. They hope things change but don't expect it. They ask for signs while ignoring the ones already appearing. But prayer was never meant to be distant. It was never meant to be mechanical. It is a living, breathing conversation between you and the deepest energy that sustains all life. It is not just talking to the universe, it is becoming one with it. To connect deeply through intentional prayer is to slow down, to stop chasing, to turn inward. Because the voice of the universe is not loud. It doesn't scream over your distractions. It waits in the silence. It waits for your full attention. It waits for you to be honest, not performative, not impressive. Just honest. It listens not to the volume of your voice, but to the purity of your energy. When you begin to pray with intention, you activate your deepest self. You step into presence. You strip away ego, fear, doubt, and you align with truth. Prayer becomes powerful when it becomes specific. When you don't just throw words into the air and hope something sticks, but instead, you sit with your soul. You get clear on what you truly want. You align your emotions with your vision, and you speak into being what already lives in your heart. The universe doesn't respond to confusion. It responds to clarity. It responds to coherence between your mind, heart, and energy. It responds to the vibration of certainty, not desperation. You connect with the universe when your prayer stops being a performance and becomes a partnership. When you stop acting like life is happening to you and start realizing that life is happening through you. You are not a victim of this universe. You are a participant, a co-creator. Your thoughts, your words, your emotions, they all ripple out into the field of energy that connects us all. And every intentional prayer becomes a seed. It doesn't always bloom overnight, but it always takes root. When you pray intentionally, you must feel what you say. Words are secondary. Energy is primary. The feeling is the prayer. The image you hold in your mind, the emotion you activate in your body, the vision you breathe life into with each word, that is the true prayer. If you pray for peace, you must feel peace in your chest as you speak. If you pray for healing, you must feel the wholeness even before the symptoms are gone. If you pray for guidance, you must quiet the mental noise long enough to hear the answer that is already inside you. You don't need fancy language to speak with the universe. You don't need rituals or perfection. You need presence. You need willingness. You need sincerity. Because the universe responds to authenticity. It recognizes your soul. It echoes back the vibration you send. When you come in truth, when you come in full alignment, when you drop the masks and speak from your core, you become magnetic. You begin to attract the people, experiences, and answers that match your prayer. There is no separation between you and the universe. That idea is an illusion. You are not a wave separate from the ocean. You are the ocean expressing itself as a wave. The power you are trying to reach is already within you. Prayer simply awakens that knowing. It returns your focus to the truth, that you are supported, that you are loved, that you are guided, even when you can't see it. Intentional prayer is the practice of remembering who you really are in a world that constantly makes you forget. So how do you do it? You begin with stillness. You breathe. You get honest. You release the noise. You ask yourself, what do I really want? What is true for me? What am I ready to receive? You let the answers rise from your inner knowing, not from fear. Then you speak, not to beg, not to convince, but to align. You speak not to change the world, but to change your own state. And you trust that as your state shifts, the world around you must shift too. Intentional prayer is not passive. It doesn't mean you pray and then wait. It means you pray and then live in alignment with that prayer. You take the steps, you do the inner work, you make the changes, you listen to the nudges, you follow the guidance, because prayer opens the door, but you must walk through it. Prayer sets the direction, but you must move your feet. You don't just pray for strength, you do the things that build strength. You don't just pray for abundance, you open your heart to receive and your hands to give. You don't just pray for clarity, you sit with yourself in the quiet until the noise fades and the truth surfaces. The universe loves clarity, it loves courage. It loves when you ask for something and then become the version of yourself who can hold it. That's what intentional prayer does. It doesn't just ask for change, it prepares you to receive it. It trains your nervous system to hold more peace, more joy, more purpose. It expands your capacity to live in alignment with your higher self, and sometimes the answer to your prayer doesn't come in the form you expected. Sometimes the no is protection. Sometimes the delay is preparation. Sometimes the redirection is the greatest gift. When you're connected deeply, you don't panic when things don't go as planned. You trust the intelligence behind the unfolding. You surrender to the wisdom of timing. You release the need to control, and instead, you respond with grace. This connection doesn't require perfection. You don't have to always be high vibe. You don't have to pretend to be okay when you're not. In fact, the most powerful prayers are the rawest. The most connected moments are when you come as you are. Messy, uncertain, vulnerable, and you speak anyway. You feel anyway. You align anyway. Because it's not about being polished. It's about being real. Let your prayer be the most honest conversation you have all day. Let it strip you of your masks. Let it remind you of your light. Let it anchor you when everything feels chaotic. Let it guide your decisions, your habits, your relationships. Let it be the lens through which you see the world, not as broken, but as sacred. Not as random, but as intentional. Not as separate from you, but as an extension of you. The more you pray intentionally, the more miracles become normal. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because you begin to see the meaning in everything. You notice the synchronicities. You trust your inner nudges. You release resistance faster. You move with faith, not fear. You wake up not wondering what the day will bring, but knowing that whatever it brings, you're not facing it alone. You begin to understand that intentional prayer is not a tool for crisis. It's a way of life. It's a mindset. It's a posture of the soul. It's a constant conversation with the force that created galaxies and placed you exactly where you are. When you live from that connection, you become powerful beyond measure. Not because you avoid challenges, but because you face them with a strength that comes from something bigger than yourself. This is your reminder you are not powerless. You are not disconnected. You are not lost. You have access to wisdom, guidance, healing, peace, clarity, all within you. And prayer is how you unlock it. It's how you activate the deepest truth. It's how you return to alignment. So today, pray with intention. Speak with conviction. Feel what you desire. Visualize it clearly. Align with the version of you already lives that reality. Then move, act, live as if it's already yours. And trust fully, deeply, completely that the universe has already heard you. Because it has.